So, as we know, Vin Diesel right now has been juggling a lot. Besides pushing for equal pay, he's also back to work on the Riddick series. He recently shared a behind-the-scenes photo from Riddick, Furia on Instagram, showing himself in full costume driving a dune buggy through a desert, with a camera operator beside him getting ready for the next shot. It's been a long time coming, so naturally longtime fans are pumped. But here's the thing. Riddick isn't the only franchise Diesel is trying to keep alive. He's also been trying to revive the XXx series, where he plays Xander Cage, the extreme sports daredevil turned spy. Unfortunately, things aren't moving so smoothly on that front. Let's talk about XXx 4. So far, it's been a bit of a mess. Recently, Ruby Rose, who was in the last movie, shared some disappointing news while promoting her latest action flick, Dirty Angels. She admitted that she hasn't heard anything about the next XXx film. "I haven't heard anything since 1974, she joked. And honestly, it kind of feels like that. She went on to say she'd absolutely love to work with that cast and crew again because they were all incredible. But as of now, there's just nothing solid happening. According to her, one of the big reasons things are at a standstill might be Vin Diesel's overloaded schedule. He's still knee-deep in Fast and Furious land, and she made a light-hearted jab about how he's probably too busy filming Fast and Furious 312 to get around to XXx 4. It's all jokes, but there's truth behind it. Vin Diesel really is committed to wrapping up Fast and Furious 11, and it's clearly delaying everything else. So, while we're on the topic of Xander Cage, let's rewind a bit to how this whole thing started. The XXx franchise kicked off in 2002 with the first movie starring Vin as Xander, a rebellious, adrenaline junkie type who gets recruited by the NSA to go undercover and infiltrate a dangerous group in Europe. Samuel L. Jackson was in it too, playing the stern but entertaining Agent Gibbons. Critics weren't exactly blown away, but audiences had fun with it, and the movie made more than $275 million globally, more than enough for Columbia Pictures to greenlight a sequel. But here's where it gets a little bumpy. Vin Diesel didn't return for the second movie, State of the Union, because he didn't like the script. Instead, the sequel introduced Ice Cube as Darius Stone, another agent in the XXx program. This time, the action moved to Washington, D.C., but the film just didn't land with audiences or critics. It flopped pretty hard, and the whole franchise kind of disappeared after that. For a while, it seemed like that was the end. But then, over a decade later, Diesel stepped back in and helped bring the series back to life with XXx, Return of Xander Cage in 2017. This time around, they revealed that Cage had actually faked his death and had been hiding out in the Dominican Republic. The movie leaned hard into over-the-top action and brought back that fun, ridiculous energy people missed from the first one. Surprisingly, it did really well, better than expected, in fact. It made $345 million worldwide, making it the most successful entry in the franchise. Even the critics were a bit more forgiving this time, with a noticeable improvement in reviews compared to the second film. Now, since Return of Xander Cage was such a big hit, talk about a fourth movie started right away. Director DJ Caruso said that the whole cast was expecting to return, along with Diesel. That was way back in 2017. Fast forward a few years, and things looked promising, until they didn't. In 2023, word got out that filming wouldn't actually start until Diesel was done with Fast and Furious 11. Unfortunately, that production keeps getting pushed back. It's now slated to start sometime in 2025. And if that weren't enough, there's also been behind-the-scenes legal drama. The production company involved, the H Collective, has run into financial trouble, and there's ongoing litigation over the film rights to the franchise. So even if Diesel had all the time in the world, it sounds like there's still a whole bunch of legal and financial hurdles keeping XXx 4 on a shelf for now. Diesel hasn't given any kind of concrete update, and it's leaving fans in limbo. Ruby Rose's comments, while funny, kind of speak for everyone. Nobody really knows when or if this movie is going to happen. If you're someone who loved Return of Xander Cage, you can always go stream it on Paramount Plus to tide yourself over. But the future is definitely uncertain right now. Meanwhile, Diesel is staying busy with Riddick, Furia, which seems to be moving ahead a lot more smoothly. Maybe that's because there's a lot less red tape involved with Riddick, or maybe he's just prioritizing the story that's been cooking for so long. The Riddick franchise has always had this cult following, and fans have been waiting years to finally go back to Furia. The production update is a good sign, especially for those who thought the series might be dead after the third movie. Also, this might just be rumor mill talk, but there's been some chatter online that Timothée Chalamet could be circling a role in one of these franchises. It's totally unconfirmed and nothing official has come out. But the idea of Chalamet teaming up with Diesel in a gritty sci-fi setting, or even as some slick agent in the XXX universe, definitely has people talking. It would be a surprising move for Chalamet, who's mostly known for more dramatic or artsy roles. But honestly, that kind of unexpected casting could breathe new life into a stalled franchise. Imagine Chalamet as a younger, tech-savvy rival agent to Xander Cage. That's the kind of dynamic that could actually work and give the series a bit of a refresh. But for now, all that is just speculation. There's nothing official, no casting news, and nothing from Diesel or Chalamet's camps. Still, in the absence of real updates, fans are doing what fans do best, coming up with dream scenarios and hoping someone in Hollywood is paying attention. It's kind of wild how Diesel manages to keep spinning so many plates. Between trying to wrap up Fast and Furious, pushing forward with Riddick, and attempting to reboot XXX, it's a wonder the guy has time to sleep. And that's not even getting into all his other rumored projects. But that's also kind of his thing. He's always got some passion project in the works, even if it takes years to actually get made. So, where does that leave us? Well, Riddick, Furia is definitely happening. It's in production, Diesel's sharing photos, and fans can finally start getting excited for a return to that gritty sci-fi world. On the other hand, XXX4 is stuck in a fog of uncertainty, caught between Diesel's schedule, legal drama, and who knows what else. Although it's frustrating, especially for fans who love the energy and ridiculousness of Return of Xander Cage. It's one of those Hollywood situations where timing and business stuff can get in the way of fun ideas. But if there's one thing we've learned from watching Diesel over the years, it's that he doesn't give up easily. So there's still hope. It might take longer than anyone wants, but if the stars align, and maybe if Chalamet signs on, XXX4 might still come roaring back into theaters someday. Until then, buckle up, stream what's already out there, and keep an eye on Diesel's Instagram, because you never know what he'll tease next. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.